What up, y'all? It's your girl, Kiwi Love You Kinks, and I'm back. Y'all, I got time. I want to finish up this mirror work project that I've been working on. I think I started it a few months ago. As usual, school gets in the way, real life issues get in the way, and it just it makes it hard to make content. But now that I'm coming close to an end on my undergraduate program, like I think it's time for me to finish this. So this segment is more so based around self-development. Mirror work is basically a way for you to acknowledge the things that you need to work on and basically just acknowledge the dynamic that you come from. And basically my mindset with this is more so like you understanding where you're going by understanding where you came from and really just getting a better understanding of who you are internally. And so the first video was more based around like mommy and daddy issues, understanding the black family dynamic, and really just understanding just some of the things that kind of shape our relationships with our parents, and just to have a better insight on why we feel the way that we feel when it comes to our relationship with our parents. And so that was like really, really important. As I said before, the word that always come to mind when I think about moving forward and understanding your past is just more so the African word Sankofa, that means return back to the source. So to understand who you are, where you're going, you got to understand where you came from. You know what I'm saying? But this video is going to be very different. I want to make sure that I got my notes. Y'all, I'm holding this mic today because I just don't feel like trying to prop it. So I'm going to just hold it. I feel a little bit more comfortable holding it this go around. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping up with the things that I want to say and just really making sure that I'm doing my job with this video. Y'all know I got to make sure I spit the truth. Like, I got to make sure that I'm saying what needs to be said, because a lot of times, people just like to tell you stuff that you want to hear, but I'm just not that person. Like, y'all not getting that from me. Y'all gonna get the real deal, the real scoop. Like, that's just how I do it. So, yes. Y'all, so this video is basically you breaking up with your favorite person, and 9 times out of 10, that person is the old you. Okay? So the real question is, who is the old you? The old you could have been what you decided to be 5 minutes ago, what you decide to be tomorrow, what you decided to be moving forward. You know what I'm saying? What you was 10 years ago when you was a little kid. The old you can be you 1 second ago. You know what I'm saying? It's basically related to cycles and tendencies that you normally do that prohibits your growth, and it basically prohibits you from being able to make progress in this life. And so I believe that every single person has something that they need to fulfill in this life. I think that it's very important that we understand who we are individually. And I don't mean us just understanding ourselves through the zodiac stuff, but like diving deep, you know what I'm saying? Like understanding your family history, understanding numerology, just a lot of different things that is shaped around an individual and is not tied to a whole entire group of people. So it's an individual thing, not a generational thing. And so when we talk about tendencies and cycles and habits, a lot of these things are things that we do habitually, and they can also be learned behaviors. So things that we saw when we were kids that kind of shape the way that we maneuver as adults. And so a lot of the things that I've noticed within myself that forced me to become a better person, or forced me to be the person that I am right now, which I hope isn't who I'm going to be forever, were life experiences. And a lot of these life experiences, they were not the best. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot growing up. I saw a lot when I moved out, and I really had to work towards like making progress. Like I really had to actually do the work. And, doing the work isn't just, going to school, working a job, moving out. Like doing the work is like really digging deep. And it's very hard for people in my generation to do it due to us having the social media and just all of these different things that can basically shape the way that we think and influence the way that we think. And so the idea of being creative and the idea of basically having your own individualism is something that's very foreign to my generation. And so when you find people who actually have that individualism and they truly understand who they are, they truly understand who their purpose is, their tendencies are usually aligned with what it is that they're trying to do and who they are, you know what I'm saying? So for myself, I think there was a period where I worked extremely hard and I wanted to see results and I wasn't happy with the results. And I ended up in a place that kind of made me question every single thing that I was doing, if my journey was worth it, if what it was that I was trying to do was even possible. And, a lot of the times, like, I have to really like rebuild myself and try to like encourage myself to truly believe in what it is that I'm trying to do and remind myself why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing, and it can be very challenging when you are faced with a lot of rejection and when you're faced with a lot of just discouragement, things that's just really trying to like come at you, you know what I'm saying? And so realizing that, it kind of makes you feel powerless. And, you might dive into or indulge into things that might not be for your best benefit. And a lot of the times it kind of takes you away from the things that you really want to do or the things that you're meant to do. And so when you have that epiphany or that waking up moment, the best thing for you to do is to reclaim your power. And, reclaiming your power is very tricky because there are certain things that you have to be very specific about when you are reclaiming your power. When you reclaim something, that means that you want something to come back to you. And so when you consider your tendencies or just cyclic behaviors that could have potentially prevented you from being able to be successful, you are reclaiming that energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a very spiritual thing, and I kind of want people to be able to understand like spirituality and just the things that's happening physically in this world are all interconnected. Everything, whether if it's related to health sciences, if it's related to numerology, astrology, all of that stuff is connected. And I'm starting to see that, reclaiming power is just more so based on the energy and frequency level that the individual is on. So when you saying that if you previously had a cyclic pattern that basically prevented you from being able to be successful, and say you trying to get back on the path that allows you to be successful, there is a certain thing that you have to reclaim within yourself. That ability to keep moving forward, that ability to have endurance, that ability to maintain, your strength, or just basically improving your health or improving your mentality is one of those energy / frequencies that you have to reclaim. And so with doing that, there is this thing with like praying. That's this thing with like being able to talk to the creator of life. A lot of people like to call the creator of life God, Abba, Allah, God got a lot of different names, you know what I'm saying? But when you are speaking to this being, you have to understand that it's not just necessarily you being tapped in with the Holy Ghost or, you know what I'm saying? It's not that. It's an actual energy level, a frequency level, and your mind can basically tune into that. And, a lot your intuition and a lot of different things, your eyes be opening and you see everything for what it is, how it is. And when you are faced with a lot of BS, once you have those eyes, once you have that ability to be able to reclaim your power, the BS don't bother you to the point where it's like you're angry, you're sad, it might be a little discouraging, but I know for most, including myself, like it gives you a little bit of an annoying type of feeling. Like, it's like, you annoying as hell. Like, leave me alone. Like, you doing this, trying to take me off my path, you're not gonna disrupt this progress that I made. You're not doing that. I know what you're doing. I know what's going on. And you start to look at it like, okay, this is a game. Okay, last week I had the best week. I made so much progress. I went from this level to this level to this level consistently. And now this week, a lot of BS is happening. Like, my car, I'm getting flats. I ain't got no money in my account. Pop-ups of just random crazy stuff that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you kind of like gain awareness of what is happening around you, and realizing that, okay, that's not really you that's attracting this. It's not that you're being progressive that's, preventing you from being, successful. It's really just the game, it's really just a part of this cyclic behavior that's associated with you trying to elevate your mind, you know what I'm saying? And so one of the things that a lot of people kind of forget when they make that change is, okay, why was the old you so significant? Why was that like something that actually needed to be changed? And then you try to like think about it like, okay, well, yeah, I did some really negative things, or I wasn't able to do this, or I wasn't able to do that, so I needed to change. A lot of times out of 10, it ain't because of that. I'm gonna be straight up. It's because you had some effed up that happened in your life that made you feel like you needed to change. Change don't just come overnight. I need for people to understand that change is an internal thing. Your reality is usually what forces you to go through a change. And once you have that actual reality shift, and you're not comfortable with that reality shift, in order for you to become comfortable in that reality shift, you actually have to make the change. You know what I'm saying? So understanding that old you, or the behaviors that was associated with that, is a significant part of you adapting to this new change. Because when things happen in your reality, whether if it's good or bad, a shift, you have to adjust to that shift. Because usually things don't flow if they don't belong in the same, you know what I'm saying? So understanding that old you, or that old behavior, or that old cycle, toxic, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That is very significant in order for you to actually see the progress that you're looking for. And so that is also related to why the new you is relevant. The new you is relevant because it's going to be a stagnant behavior. You have to convince yourself of that. You have to say it enough times and believe it enough times to know that, okay, this behavior that's associated with the new me is something that's going to be here permanently. This isn't going to be something that I do this week, and then next week I go back to the toxic behavior. Now, understanding that when you are making this permanent shift, you might have downfalls. You might have withdrawals. You might have withdrawals to the older behaviors. You might have the urge to want to go back and smoke weed. You might have the urge to want to not go to the gym. You might have the urge to want to go back and eat meat or eat pork or whatever. But that strength within you that forced you to make that change is something that you're going to have to constantly remind yourself of, the reason why you want to have this victory. Why is this new you so significant? Why do you want this new you to be so stagnant? And it can't just be because of the positive gain that you get from it, but it actually have to be something that you genuinely want in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, okay, I'm doing this because I want to be successful. That's bullcrap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, you're only doing this because you want to get something back in return. It has to be something that resides within you. It's an internal thing. It's a way that you are training your mind. You're tuning your mind to this fine way of thinking. It's a very rare way of thinking. And it's the significance of it has to be genuine. Okay. And so once you go through the cyclic behaviors and you have these different experiences that basically forces you back to being, the new you, or staying consistent, staying committed to the new you and that growth and that, that personality or whatever, you basically learn the lesson which was being taught to you, and that those cyclic changes. So like the failure is usually the more effective way of learning lessons. And, I always tell people this, like you being around people that always reach success, that is a blessing. But if they've never had an experience in failure, they've never saw it firsthand, like that basically is very alarming, because it's like, okay, well, how do you take rejection? When you face in a world where you are experiencing so much rejection, it's very hard for you to not just go within yourself. A lot of people like to search for help outside of themselves, but you really have to understand the answers really do reside in you. You know what I'm saying? The more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about, your behaviors or where things might have came from, that usually helps shape you and give you that compass into like, okay, internalizing your experiences and learning from them and understanding and remembering why the new you is so important. So I think this video is really being made at the right time, because we're considering New Year's. Everybody has these New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. But I say you should start it before the new year. I say do it as soon as it's in your heart, it's in your spirit to do it, and just stay committed to it and really just remember your why. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets to a level of success, and sometimes they've been in that space for a very long period of time, and they just forget where it was like for them to have their first day on trying something that was internally changing, or something that was just very, very, very inspiring. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that this was important. Like, I really wanted to talk to y'all about this because it's been on my mind heavy. Like, I feel myself shifting. When I feel myself shifting, I usually make a video because it comes out a lot better, because I'm like in that moment. I'm not like just reading my notes from what I'm going to say. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, this is like real, you know? And so I hope that y'all have a great new year. I hope that if you guys do have your resolutions, that you guys are able to stay committed to those, and that you understand your why, and that it's something that strengthens you, not something that's just going to be here to bring you success, but just something that is genuinely something that you want to do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that this message was delivered. I hope that I made some sense with what I was saying. And as always, I appreciate y'all for supporting me. Right, if it's the 2-3 views that I get, like, I appreciate all of y'all. I just want y'all to know that. So I just want that to be said. So I see y'all.